Again, back in the shed, which means it's part 21, I believe, of the old Virago project, which I have seriously fallen out of love for. I'm going to be honest and say it. It might be to the point where I've really had enough and not even going to fix it and going to get another bike completely. I might not even buy another Virago. It's that bad. Right, while everyone's been away and behind the scenes, I've had the valves out of the head, which I've cleaned up any corrosion, then relapped the valves, blah de blah de blah. I've refitted them to the head now. I haven't ordered a new head gasket because, well, I don't think none of this is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be a rough cunt. I'm going to reuse the head gasket that's there. We're going to bolt everything back together once I've checked the torque settings on the stuff I've done on the head, because I didn't use no torque wrench on it. I just tightened it up like that'll do. So it all needs nipping up. Then we're gonna retime that, because if you remember correctly, I had it timed for the rear cylinder, not the front cylinder, like a bell end. And if we get that all set to top dead center for the front cylinder, refit the head, then we can do the valve lash. I've still got a stuck exhaust bloody bolt in the head there. I've done enough that this should run. I've probably done the exact bare minimum though, like less than the bare minimum if I don't replace that head gasket. But at this point now, I don't really care. I'm thinking like I'm just gonna, well, I'm either gonna buy another bike, buy another engine, or fuck it off completely and just totally buy another bike completely. So what I'm gonna do now is, do I take that stud off now? We should really try and get that stud off. But I've had the old stick welder on it, and I have welded 3 or 4 nuts on it, and I mean like really welded them on, and it's not moving, not at all. I really don't know what to do about it either. Because if it does work, then that's going to cause me even bigger issues, because then this head is usable, but not with a stud broken in it like that. Yeah, we'll give you a quick once over where I'm at. Obviously the valves and that are all back in now, lovely jubbly. But this bastard, I cannot get to remove for love nor money. Here's what it is though. Seems to say that a lot with this. It's that gasket on here. It hasn't been blowing or anything or what have you, and it's one of them multi-layered metal jobbies. I'm going to check the torque settings, and then I'm going to add an extra couple of 1 or 2 foot-pounds to allow for the squish that's already been squished in that gasket, I think, and say fuck it, that'll do. Yeah, first things first, what we need to do is we need to get it spun around again, so I can get to the timing, the crank and the timing marks. And I need to devise some way of letting this spin around as I'm sorting that, in a way that it doesn't come off the crank at the bottom. Yeah, that's going to be a bit hard to do by myself, one-handed. But yeah, you see my problem. They are the last of my cable ties as well, so I am going to be a tight bastard, and I am going to unpick them and reuse them again later. Right, I used that screwdriver in there to hold that up in place, while I rotated that down there to get that bang in line. Front cylinder, top dead centre, ready to put back together. Now what I need to do is make sure the camshaft and everything is located with the ting at the top to go in that groove, as you can see on the cog. Let me start thinking about whacking shit back together. One thing I just noticed, I nearly forgot to reband them locking tabs. But yeah, alright, anywho. You want this cam doodah, there's a lug there, look, lines up with that. That's how you know that's right. I'm going to first rebend these, and get to seeing if I can refit it. Right, head's on, but none of the bolts are tightened up. Timed up at the top, timed up at the bottom. Lovely fucking jubbly. I've got to go and help my mate with some bits and bobs on the computer because he needs a little help. So I'm going to nip inside, I'm going to sort that now. Mental note, this isn't tight. Yeah, when you do this, make sure your small tensioner guide, there's a little groove in here about here-ish. Make sure it's in there. And make sure your big tensioner is popped in behind there. I believe that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Right, so there you go. Right, I'll be back in a minute. I'll go and sort this out. Alright, I'm in no rush to get it done today. I'm feeling actually quite rough. I'm not been very well. My head torch has just gone dead literally as I come in the bloody door, so that's got to charge up now. Still got to help me mate with some bits and bobs. I've just sent him his details, but no doubt he's going to need a little bit more help. So I've made myself a brew. I might play a little bit of Nintendo for a little bit. Then we get back outside, put them head studs in, get them torqued up to the correct torque settings. Put the tensioner back in for the timing chain. We need to fill it back up with oil because I drained all the oil, didn't I? So we'll just put some oil in it for now, some just enough so it will register on the thing, and because I'm probably just going to chuck car oil in it. I'm not, well, I say I'm not hopeful it's going to run. Obviously I'm hopeful it's going to run, but I think I was getting myself too far down a rabbit hole, umming and ahhing and thinking and doing, and I honestly think maybe a sticky valve or not quite a sealy valve was actually the problem. And I'm sort of hoping, even being a tight cunt and not even changing the air gasket, I'm hoping that's enough that it's going to at least spring to life. I don't care if it runs like a bag of shit. I couldn't give a fuck. If it starts, it runs, and it idles. So even if you've got to keep fucking revving it to keep it going, I don't give a shit. At this point, that will be a success to me. I'm not sure how far we're going to get today because, yeah, like I say, I've sort of been a bit slowed down now. But the head's on, the timing chain's on, it's all timed up, I believe, correctly this time. Well, as you can see, it's a lot easier to tell this way because with no head on, you can see where the piston is, and the piston was definitely up top dead centre. Looking at that piston now and how far up that cylinder it actually does come, does look like maybe a valve did tap it slightly, but it didn't damage a valve. There's no chips on no valves or anything, or maybe one valve, maybe there was something in the cylinder, maybe a little something got in there. I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, I've fallen out of love with it and all. I really have. So this is like basically a last hurrah, or this engine's last hurrah at least, because like I say, it's either new engine, new bike, or another Virago, or a new bike altogether, and which is bad because I wanted a Virago for so long, and ever since I wanted it, all it has been is trouble. It's a love-hate relationship. I love that Virago. It fucking hates me. Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I don't want it anymore. So it is. Now, obviously, if it starts running and shit and what have you, and that'll probably perk up my interest and probably make me more like, yeah, I'm going to keep my bike. But let's be honest, the luck I've been having and the way things are going, that's not looking likely. So I'm finished with bro. Check, make sure Shaq don't need some more help with his stuff. Play a little bit of Nintendo for a little bit. Then I'll bring you lot back when I'm outside, going to do and talk up that head and stuff and what have you. And then to be fair, I'm pretty much stuck with trying to get it back in. Because really it's a, well, if you're from Sleaford, you're probably all right because you've got that extra hand, like, you know what I mean, because you're inbred. But you need to be able to get the shaft on and get it on the jack and hold it in place and get it lined up with the engine mounting bolts, and so it's quite a thing. I may be able to devise a plan actually. I've just thought something. Right, now that's him all sorted. Let's go back to getting his head torqued down. Torque the head, torque the camshaft pulley, and set the valve lash. I'll show you how to do that because it's relatively easy, and it's a tip that's going to be like handy for a lot of you, for a lot of different things, not just this bike. So yeah, I'll show you how to do that. Yeah, what I'm going to do, because I did this so long ago and I can't remember, I'm going to have a look at the cylinder head on the rear and see how that went together. I believe there was like a washer on one side and then there was a clamp on the other for a pretty bit of chrome that's supposed to sit on the top of your engine, and I believe I destroyed mine last time. I'm trying to look around and find it, I can't find it, but it'll be here somewhere. Yeah, so should probably fix that because it's, I believe, yeah, I might need it. Yeah, right, even if I don't, I'm still stuck at sticking it on, so I'm just going to find it, re-straighten it with an hammer and put it back on. If you remember back, I said I was going to slightly over torque them, slightly. Well, I miscalculated my shit and it should have been 35 Newton meters, and I did 42. So yeah, slightly tighter than, but still a bit too. We'll see. I'll turn her over by hand once it's fully assembled and the valve lash is done, and we'll see if anything hits. Alright, so these one talking to 20 Newton meters, so I'm going to go about 25. And that little bastard in there, if you've got one of these doodads, which is extendable magnet, get it on that to get it down and in there and get it started, spin it on. So I did it, job done. Then we can get the cam chain tensioner in, and then we can torque up this bolt here. Then we'll move on to valve lash, so let me get these sorted. Right, to set this valve lash, you're going to need some feeler gauges, little Allen key and a 10mm. What you're going to do is you're going to stick the Allen key in here, the 10mm here, and you're going to crack that nut off. Then you're going to find the correct size, one of them you need. Answers written in your manual or on Google. I've got to check it myself. And what you want to do is you want to have it sliding in it so it's just sort of grabbing but not causing too much resistance and not causing you to have to force it through, and then lock it off again, job done. Then repeat on the back because we're already on top dead centre. That's lovely jubbly. Right, when I put this back in, however, these bolts didn't feel like they went in very well. They felt like they're screwed in, but they don't feel like they're going tight. Now, I haven't over tightened them. I did them by hand with an Allen key. I don't think I've over tightened them. That may cause us an issue. Well, probably will. It's the tensioner for the siren chain. But for now, for testing purposes and stuff, should be fine. But may come and bite me in the arse. 55 Newton meters for that apparently. Valves all lovely lashed. Sweet. Right, now is the time you want to get on the crank side and turn it over one entire rotation to make sure that everything's all lovely jubbly and you ain't fucked up all your timing. Well, I'm pleased to say that was successful. We had nothing clattering or note or whatever. Lovely jubbly. Right, so what I've got to do now is fit the cam cover back on. Covering that, we're going to fit the rocker covers back on. Refit the coils. There was one wire that I didn't disconnect properly when it comes to it. This one, And I accidentally pulled that out, as you can see or not see. It's this blue wire that goes into the loom there. If I don't get that far, and you know what that is, here's an hint. I'm assuming it was somewhere down here on the engine, behind the cover or something, I don't know. I ain't got a bloody clue. Yeah, so if you do, we'll be helpful if you let me know. Oh, as you see, look, there's bits of it everywhere. It's been like this for a few weeks now. If I'm honest, I should have a better sort of like organisation sorting out, but this is just how I work. I don't normally seem to fuck things up, so. Right, the more I'm thinking about that, the more I'm getting concerned with these bolts here. We may need to look at that again. But for now, let's get dressing the rest of it up with the bits and bobs it's going to need to go back on the bike. Right, I know my manifold was never a masterpiece in the first place, but I smushed all this extra goop on it just to make sure that it was sealed properly, and I don't know why I ever doubted myself, because I've just done this, shine a torch through it and stuff, and what have you. I can't see any light escaping anywhere. Because you doubt yourself when you've done something and you've added it, and I was like, well, is it my manifold or am I don't know. But yeah, I've double checked it, I've triple checked it, I've quadruple fucking checked it. That manifold is fine. Well, unless its design is majorly flawed to start with, which could be a possibility, because there is zero engineering gone into that. It's 100% bodgery. What's behind that? Is that where the old blue wires come from? Behind there somewhere? Oh, I don't know, I've had a lot. Obviously, that's all like the wiring for the stator and stuff. Let me see if we can get better angle on the light for you. Not really. Yeah, I can't see anywhere where it might come off, except for it might come off there. There looks like a little fix in there, which is on the inside of this case here. Now, if you remember rightly, we have had this case apart to repair a start clutch, but for the life of me, I can't remember that bloody blue wire. I'm gonna have to resort back to my book or some previous videos to see what score is Georgie doors. I'm gonna whack them timing cover back on now. But yeah, this might be the end of it for today. So I've got to pick the wife up from work soon. Maybe not today, maybe just for now. We'll see. Fuck it. Yeah, I've decided that can be the end of this video. Get prepared for episode 22 when it's obviously going back in the bike, and we should be able to test fire her. I don't think there's anything else I need to be saying right now. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, all that bollocks. If not, who gives a shit? I'm going to go inside and get cleaned up. Don't know if I'll edit this video now or I'll edit it later, but either way you'll know because it'll be up when it's up. I'll catch you next time. Cheers.